begin the show with a song. And the song that I like to use is Eric Clapton's '88 hit After Midnight, which is a more bluesier version of his earlier rendition of it. Because it's after midnight, and why not? Today's episode is still brought to you by Beer in the Throat. And the thing is, I'm sitting there, I go to YouTube after I'd actually done this, streaming on for the PS4, to see what's going on with this video. It just, like my last two videos on YouTube, for some reason, even though it says on air, when you upload to YouTube, it almost puts it right like several minutes after the fact. And I really can't figure this one out. And it's really bugging the shit out of me. It really is grinding my gears, so to speak. Having said all that, though, hopefully this doesn't do it this time. I'm trying to have a decent channel here on YouTube, and it looks like I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But it could probably have something to do with the streaming service and something with PS4 network, and who knows? Or maybe they're hearing a little bit of Eric Clapton on there and they don't want to get sued because I'm just using it, because I happen to love the song. And I love me some Eric Clapton. But I digress. On with the show. Juice Band 3941 Gaming Roundtable Episode 3 is called Watchwords. Watchwords are words that we should all be familiar with. And this word in particular, respect. That's right. And you're seeing a little bit of this menu-based Evolve gameplay. Because see, I have a story about Evolve, and it does involve the watchword respect. You see, when Evolve come out, it hadn't been out very long. And GameStop had a used copy of it. GameStop that I frequent. And the manager, pretty nice guy named Will, nice guy, was familiar with who I was, because I come in there a lot. And I had traded a couple games, and I decided to buy this used copy of Evolve. Not the one you're seeing here, but I don't have a hard copy anymore. I have a digital copy that came with everything, because they had this crazy blowout Sony sale recently. So I was able to pick up Evolve and everything with it for way cheaper than I ever even got it used at the time. But, see, Evolve's an asymmetrical shooter. I love asymmetrical shooters. I loved Enemy Territory Quake Wars on Xbox 360. I loved Brink, even though Brink's community fell off faster than Nicolas Cage's box office results on his last 3 films. Sorry, Nick, just spilling the truth about it. But my point is, Will, this guy spent literally probably 20 to 25 minutes, maybe longer, maybe 30 minutes, everything he could do in his power to get me not to buy it. The shooting is terrible. The graphics are terrible. He said it's just so bad. It's so lopsided. There's no fun to be had. When you progress, you get nothing. It's like he said every negative thing you could do or say about this game to prevent me from buying it. I bought it anyway, and one of the last things he did tell me was, you'll be probably back today to be trading it in. Well, some days had passed, and I went back there because I had to pre-order a game, and I may have picked something up, I'm not really sure at the time. And I remember this manager telling me, he's like, Juice Man, did you bring the game back, man? It hasn't been 7 days. It's probably what you brought it back. You came in here to do. I was like, no, I love Evolve. Evolve is absolutely incredible. And he was stunned, shocked even by my response. Like he just couldn't believe it. He really could not believe it. Now, having said all that, this brought me to my attention. I decided to do on my WordPress.com, my blog, a watchword called Respect. But I need to do a video because it's important. We as a gaming community, especially in the YouTube community, and my pals, Angry Joe, and Jim Sterling, and 1316 Killer, the guys I've subscribed to, Rachel Moore, B. Dobbins for the win, Razor Fist, Rageaholic, they all get this too in their comment sections, People do not show any kind of respect to anybody, it seems like, when their opinion differs wildly from your own. But it's worse than that. People don't even respect the fact that you might play a game or buy a game that they don't like. And they just feel like it's just crushing to them, I guess, their ego, their precious little ego, that you like a game that they don't. They can't deal with it. Even though you're not forcing them to come over and watch you play the game, or forcing them to come over and to play the game. They're sitting around their house going like, I can't believe my friend bought that video game. I hate that game. I don't understand it. Really, if you're sitting around worried about what your friends are playing, there's a huge, huge list of shrinks I will send you personally that will gladly try to work this out with you. Now, a word from our sponsor. Today's episode of Gaming Roundtable is brought to you by Beer in the Throat. Back to you, Juice Man. Thank the sponsor. But this is the whole thing. Respect. The gaming community doesn't have a whole lot of respect. The YouTube community, when it comes to games, don't have a whole lot of respect. I'll tell you another GameStop instance. A guy named Gene that works there, manager. Another GameStop that I frequent. I do not know if he's still there, but Gene's a good guy. He told me, he every time I come in, man, this guy, he eat, live, sleep, and breathe Gears of War. Thought it was the greatest game in the history of games. Honest to God, he actually said that. He said it's the greatest game ever conceived. I'm happy that he can get into the game. Now, I find Gears of War to be aesthetically pleasing. I think it plays well, but I can't get into it, And he always was saying, hey, you going to pre-order Gears? And I told him, I don't dislike the game, I told him, but I just have a hard time getting into it. I said, Gene, I'm happy that you like the game. I'm very, I think it's cool that you get what you get out of it, man. But I just can't, man. I've tried, I bought the first one, played through the second one. I just can't get into it. But you know what? I respect the fact that you like it. I wish I could like it like you do. And Gene told me this. He said, you didn't you didn't even tell me it sucked. You didn't try to harp on me for liking it. He said, Juice Man, you actually kind of showed a level of respect to me. And I was like, well, yeah. I'm like, why should I take a big fucking shit on your parade just because I don't happen to like a game that you like, And that's another aspect of that respect, I have friends that give me a hard time because I love Dynasty Warriors. They don't get it. I do. Omega Force. Consistently. In any time and again. I get hours, hundreds of hours of gameplay out of their games. They never get owed. I love them. And yet, people have a hard time dealing with that. They show me no respect. They don't understand why I like them. They probably never will. And that's my thing. We do not show that level of respect to people. The gaming community is so quick to put in comment sections how we suck and you and this and you and that. It's just so poison, man. It's like, why can't you just show me a little respect? I think the worst offense was, everybody kind of remembers this from a year and a half, 2 years ago, Anita Sarkeesian. How you doing, Anita? Hope you're doing well. Anita Sarkeesian, who may not be the biggest gamer on the planet, got a lot of press because she was doing this thing about this whole sexism of video games and like we're objectifying women and this and that. And yes, the demographic for video games is 18 to 35 year olds. We're guys. We love women. We love TNA. We're gonna like that. And Anita, just to throw it out there, you're a gorgeous woman. Don't ever change. You're very pretty. And don't take that the wrong way, but my point is, and I like to say that, my point is, no one showed her any respect when she was doing this thing about tropes and video game and women, and like somehow, some way, the community got so butthurt, they thought that Anita Sarkeesian single-handedly was going to make the game companies, EA and Ubisoft and Square Enix and everybody else under the sun, change their tune, and no longer would we have like TNA games, and no longer we'd have bikini armor and all the stuff that's absolutely, caters to the 18 to 35 year old demographic, and they were sending her death threats for the death threats? Really? Death threats. Anita Sarkeesian is not wealthy, okay? She doesn't have enough money nor resources or time to actually make these multi-million-dollar companies, Activision, EA, Ubisoft, and others, change the way they make their games. That was not going to happen. But somehow people just said, F you, Anita, and I'm going to show you all the disrespect I can because you're going to make them change the games I like. How? She doesn't have enough money to do that. All she can do is throw out her opinions, and it was all that was opinion. Some of it based in fact. Some of it might be embellished. I don't always agree with everything she has to say. Just like, hey, love Angry Joe. Love the Razor Fist Rageaholic. Love Jim Steering. Love the guys other guys, B-Dom is for the win. 1316 Killer, Rachel Moore. But I don't always agree with them. But I will not go on their channel. I will not comment and take a shit on them. I show them respect. Because even though some of these people may have never went to, journalism school for this stuff, they're putting out videos because they're passionate about their video games. And that's how it needs to be. We need to show that kind of respect, People say, and going back to Evolve, how could you play that? That game is horrible. Well, instead of being like, pissed that I got a game and really like it, and you don't like the fact that I like it, how about just show me a little respect and say, you know what? I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad you like the game. It's not a game for me, but I'm glad that you like it. That's what needs to happen. But you see, that doesn't happen. The gaming community, for people on the outside, probably think we're nothing but a cesspool of bitter, jaded, angry, hate-filled, people that number in the hundreds of millions from all different walks of life, and we show zero respect to anybody. We shit on those who give a game that we don't like a good review. We shit on those who give games that we like a bad review. We're always quick to jump on that bandwagon. Everyone's on the hate train, and there you go. And it's terrible. It's utterly terrible that we are like that. You know what I remember? I remember when Mass Effect 3's ending was not to our liking, and BioWare changed it. The stuff came out that lead writers weren't involved in this meeting. The ending was this stupid blue, green, and red ending. And we got together and we rallied behind it and made them change things in the ending. We got what we should have deserved after playing as Shepard all the time. And that was one time the community really rallied behind each other. Because we all loved that game. And that's what this Watchwords episode's about. It's about respect. You know what? I respect the fact that people like games that I don't like. I can't get into sports games. I'm not a Madden guy, but I respect the fact that you like it. I wish I could like that game. I don't, but I respect the fact that you find enjoyment out of it. I'm glad that you went out and spent your money on it, right? I'm glad, I respect the fact that you go, this gamer buys all the Call of Duties and loves all of them, right? Because I'm more of a passive player when it comes to COD. I started with Modern Warfare 3. That's my favorite one. People think I'm crazy for liking that so much. I'm like, but that's where I started, But people give me some. It's a matter of respect, Respect. Sorry, gotta have a word from our sponsor.
Hey, that is Slash, so it's what's going on. I got Expendables 4 coming out soon, but before that, you gotta drink this beer in the throat. That's pretty good. It kind of punches like Apollo. Take it away, Juice Man.
Thanks, Sly. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on the show. And, you know, there are people out there that just don't have that respect level, with different levels of respect. They don't respect the fact that you bought a game they don't like. They don't respect the fact that you give some review on a game that you like, or vice versa. There's so many different levels of respect out there that we just don't show. And that's why I have Evolve playing on the screen, because I think Evolve is one of the best games that have come out on the new systems. And people say, well, there was all this DLC and all this stuff, and you got about all this. You know, just you're bitching about the DLC on Evolve. No one said you had to buy it. You're not really missing out on anything either. You know, because they did this recent sale where you can get Evolve for $10, and the season pass for like $5.99, and the second season pass for another $5.99, and $20 later you got everything. You got every hunter, you got the everything. I've got a bunch of skins, I've got all this cool stuff. But even nothing is forcing you to do that. But you show no respect to Turtle Rock Studios. Yes, did they go about doing it the way they should have? Probably not. But at the end of the day, they worked hard on this game, and it shows. And we need to respect other gamers' opinions. We need to respect other gamers' reviews. Now, I never review anything. We need to respect other gamers' choices and what they want to play. If we just would show each other in the community and the YouTube gaming community just a little bit of respect, we would all benefit from that. Unfortunately, it's not always the case. Anyway, this is JuiceMan3941 about to sign off. Just want to tell you can check me out, my blog, wordpress.com, and you can check out the Gaming Roundtable. I'm going to continue to put up videos. I'm going to try to figure this crap out with the PS4 and how you start one, it says you're on the air, but it doesn't start for like another 2 or 3 minutes. I don't understand why it does that on the live stream. I don't really understand that. It would be nice if I could figure out a way to start everything and do a YouTube stuff like the people I've subscribed to. I'm just an amateur. I don't know how all this works. I know I can stream to YouTube, so I want to apologize because I started this video off after midnight and then started talking. God knows it probably started like 10 minutes after that fact. I was watching my last video on the whole no class and no content thing. It just kind of starts in the middle of it. It makes no sense. It's after my first sponsor break, and it's kind of like there was 2 points that people really needed to hear about. I want to apologize to the YouTube community. I want to apologize to the broadcasting community on PS4 because I'm not sure how this works. I don't understand when I hit on air that it doesn't show. It's almost like it's 2 or 3 minutes later. I don't know if there's supposed to be a window when to start. I don't know if the network cuts it down for content's sake, so your videos are not like 3 hours long. I'm not sure how it works. I'm actually going to try to get a hold of Sony and try to talk to them about that and try to figure out why that is the way it is. So if you are watching this on the network, if you are watching this on YouTube, I want to apologize in advance because it seems like every time I start a video, immediately it says on air. It shows up like 10 minutes after the fact. I don't really understand why it's doing that. I'm just apologizing to my subscribers, which is very few at the moment. I think I have maybe 12 or 17, and just bear with me. I hope you find my channel entertaining too. Please leave some comments for me, like I said. And in closing, respect people. That's what we need to show, just a little bit of respect. And I think that, like I said, we would all benefit from that. Anyway, this is JuiceMan3941 signing off. This is the Gaming Round Table episode 3. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, good gaming.